Hi, this is KV, and this is the moon phase report for Pisces for the new moon in Virgo at 13 degrees on September 5th, 2013. Okay, so yours is very much about, yours is going to be, this new moon is going to be about you healing some things with other people in your life. And there's probably been things that have recently been coming up, and like for a while now. I feel like this one maybe has been going on for a little while, but there's something that's needing to be shifted within you, and it's probably where you've been manifesting things because of wounds, with kind of wounds that you haven't been able to face or deal with, and they involve like your creativity, your happiness level, your love life. There's something that has been, you've learned something from other people or something, and you're carrying that, and it's actually keeping you from being as present and there for people in your life now. So something is shifting within you. Something is shifting so much within you, actually, that people are going to start seeing you differently, and it's going to have this other effect of you having healthier and more awesome relationships with your peoples. So you're right now really kind of thinking about what you've been following or believing to be the truth that doesn't really match up with who you are now. And this can be something parent related. It's something that's involved with your higher mind. It's something that's like, it's something that like you've accepted something as the truth and it needs to shift out. You know, maybe it's something like always seeing divorce, so just knowing that you just, when it's not working, give up, you know. So you could be having that kind of thing happen, and you're just going to learn like a new way of wanting to work through things and wanting to like understand that we have fights, we have disagreements, that's part of life, but just wanting to eagerly go into them and be like, okay, what's going on? How can we make this better? How can we bring it to the love vibe? So right now there also can be like people leaving your life, and you know, sometimes that has to happen too, like if they aren't right there with you, and even though they might think they are, because this is like higher mind related too, so it's like they might think that they're, you know, just as aware and conscious, but then their actions are like, are just me driven or something, and you're just gonna have to kind of cleanse them out of your your life right now. And with that, I always say, like, if somebody is always holding your mind space and making you pissed off and you can't get over it, and you're like, ugh, like that's not a good person to have in your life. And maybe later you can. And it's funny, I've had this kind of thing where I've even saying this, I was like, oh yeah, because I'll go hiking and I'm like, and I'll forget everything. I won't be looking at anything, and I won't be appreciating things because I'm so consumed by this thing that needs to be healed. But it's like when you're, you know, one thing is like we can't change anybody else, and if they'll change on their own time, but we're not here to change people. So if they can't change, and if they're locked in this position, even though they think they're elevated and high vibrating and whatever, if there's still like this thing that's causing this friction, and it's not a peaceful thing, and you can't move past it. Because one of the things too, I think one of the most important things as we evolve and become more conscious beings, is that we're really able to look at ourselves. You know, we can really see what people say about us, or even though whatever people say about us is always a part of them. So that's something to take into consideration too. But you know, we're you know, someone who just like does hurtful things to people, but they can't see that they're doing anything wrong because they're so right and they're the best thing ever. You know, that kind of thing is keeping locked in an anchoring, dense kind of space, even though they might not believe that, because maybe they know all the tools, they know all the spiritual things, so they think they're in this other space. But one thing I've noticed with people is when they can be really humble and hear what people say, or even humble in like looking at people and really kind of understanding where they're coming from, you're in a much higher vibration when you're doing that. You know, really kind of understanding, like, when they lash at you or attack you, like seeing like where that's coming from. And it makes me think of like bullies. I was watching this documentary on bullies, and I was like, everyone who was a bully was bullied at home, you know, and it's like, so you can't like necessarily judge it so much as this harsh and horrible thing because they were bullied. So I mean, there's so many more layers to look at it. I cannot imagine a really loving and supportive family having this kid that goes out and then wants to put other people down. It's somebody who's been put down, which I think we really need. I mean, I'm sure people are working on that, but I was like, we need people who go in and counsel about bullying, and even saying it like that. You know, if you're a bullier, you're bullied at home. Like, we know that. You know, we know that you're being hurt, you're being yelled at, you're being demeaned. Like, even like I said, and I wrote in my one thing, I used to be like the meanest person alive in high school. I was such a bully. I was so mean. But, you know, I had a similar thing of not being valued and put down, and, you know, so it's like I went out and did that same thing into the world. You don't do that if you're coming from love and support. You just don't. I don't believe that's possible. So there's so much more to look into that. So things are shifting now with your relationships, and you can really expect like some really kind of cool new partnerships coming into your life that are so much more on your vibration, on your same path. So there's definitely a clearing that's going on, but there's something that's so deeply changing within you that it's going to outwardly manifest these new relationships, and it's going to be love. You know, it's going to be, it's total partnership. So different people with work related, people coming into your life creativity related, helping you with projects, and also, you know, this thing is also kind of like taking it out further in the world. So there's a big rippling effect going on right now, so that you can even get your stuff more out in the world. Things will just be easier for you when you start to change some of these wounds that are surrounded around maybe even like your the like feelings like that you don't have any right to survive, or feelings like you're not good enough, and feelings like everybody else does it better than you, and feelings that are very much about you not being good enough and not believing in yourself. So use this time now to kind of, you're probably even feeling now, you're going to be like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that. So just kind of be open to them and work to healing them, work to see where they came from, work to see where you picked them up. And this is where just use the curiosity factor of, why did I pick this up? Where does this come from? You know, go at it like that. And then just your energetic structure is going to change to the point where you're manifesting these much more beautiful and loving and satisfying and on your same page kind of people. So new moon affirmations, I am manifesting a soul, a match made in heaven. That one's always fun, why not? I am manifesting new work partners. I am clearing out my density so that I can attract people who really love me. I am working to bring peace in my partnerships. I'm working to understand people more. I am learning to be more compassionate with others. I love my peoples. Okay, I think that's enough. So just kind of focus around that area. Alright, you have a beautiful new moon, and let that stuff go and bring in the healing and see yourself as this purified light being of love and happiness. And whatever is coming up, face it. If you face it, you'll be able to shed it. It's like a snake skin right now too. So shed that stuff that isn't really you, and everything outside of you is going to start being able to magnetize, because if you think about it, it's blocking it. It's bouncing it back off or something. So you have a beautiful new moon, and I will see you next time for the full moon. It's also going to be, it's like a full moon in Pisces. Alright, bye.